Good evening. For WRCO News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. Wisconsin residents are paying a smaller tax burden than most other states. According to a report from the Wisconsin Policy Forum, limits on local property taxes and income taxes, combined with average wages rising by about 9%, has led to the lowest burden rate compared to the national average ever for the state. Wisconsin now ranks 35th in tax burden, which is the state's lowest ranking on record. The report also credited Governor Tony Evers lowering the third income tax bracket in 2021 for contributing to the falling tax burden. How does Wisconsin stack up as a place to retire? Lisa Hale has the answer.
U.S. News & World Report released its list for the 150 best places to retire in the United States. Green Bay tops the list of Wisconsin cities, coming in at 11th in the nation, up from 16th last year. Other Wisconsin cities that made the grade are Madison at 37th and Milwaukee at 123rd, down from 64th last year. The organization looked at the happiness of local residents, housing affordability, tax rates, and healthcare quality.
The entire list can be viewed at the U.S. News & World Report website. Average gas prices rose 2.2 cents per gallon over last week. The average in the state today is $2.85. This is 4 cents lower than a month ago and 9 cents per gallon lower than this time last year. Over 30 states have average gas prices below $3 this week, but it won't be nationwide by Thanksgiving. Officials at Gas Buddy say Russia's threats after Ukraine used long-range U.S. missiles pushed oil prices back above $70 per barrel. Some promotions ahead of Thanksgiving are pushing gas prices back down, even as oil prices remain elevated. We are seeing the lowest national average price of gasoline since 2021 and a better economic picture than the last time prices were this low. While you're in the woods for deer hunting, officials ask that you be on the lookout for missing persons. In Juneau County, they're asking hunters to keep an eye out for Leah Stewart. She's been missing since the 4th of July 2023. She was last seen wearing a black shirt, dark-colored shorts, and she wasn't wearing shoes. If you see any signs of disturbance or anything unusual that may aid in locating Leah, you're asked to contact the Juneau County Sheriff's Office at 608-847-5649. That's 847-5649. Last Wednesday, the Sauk County Sheriff's Office responded to SSM St. Clair Hospital in Baraboo for the report of an 18-month-old child that was brought in with injuries consistent with child abuse. During the investigation, deputies and detectives learned that the injuries to the child occurred at a motel in the township of Baraboo. Isabella Perry, 17 of Baraboo, was arrested and taken to the Sauk County Jail for child abuse, intentionally causing great bodily harm. Isabella is being held pending an initial appearance in Sauk County Circuit Court. This is an ongoing investigation. If you have any information regarding this case or other criminal activity, you are encouraged to contact Sauk County Crime Stoppers at 1-888-TIP-SAUK. That's 1-888-847-7285 or your local law enforcement agency. An 8-year-old child in the Milwaukee area died after being struck by a vehicle. It happened Thursday morning in the village of River Hills. The police chief calls the incident a freak accident when the child waiting for a bus was struck by his parents' vehicle. The child died while being transported to the hospital. Police say the incident is being investigated with no foul play suspected and no charges being filed. A Milwaukee man who killed a pregnant woman in a hit-and-run crash is sentenced to 40 years in prison. A jury convicted Frank Mosley in the November 2023 crash, which killed 32-year-old Erin Mogensen. She was several weeks pregnant at the time. Mosley was driving a stolen car at more than 75 miles an hour when he struck the victim's vehicle at an intersection. He was found guilty of 4 counts against him, including 2 for first-degree reckless homicide. An extremely high bond has been set for a Marshfield man accused of homicide. David Castro Gutierrez is being held on a $10 million cash bond accused of killing 28-year-old Blanca Yesenia Hernandez Portocarrero during a domestic incident in Marshfield. Investigators believe the 38-year-old killed her on November 3rd, then dumped her body north of Prentice, some 70 miles away. He was arrested 10 days later and formally charged on Thursday. No further court action was immediately scheduled, and he has yet to enter a plea for the charge. If found guilty at trial, he faces life in prison. A former Northeast Wisconsin fire chief faces over 20 counts of allegedly embezzling from his department. Oconto County prosecutors accuse 41-year-old Christopher Thompson of taking over $100,000 from the Lakewood Fire Department Association. Investigators say Thompson took the money over several years and used it to pay personal bills. He allegedly admitted to the thefts and said he would pay back the money, but department officials say that hasn't happened yet. Thompson resigned in September and is being held on a $10,000 cash bond. Local residents and visitors alike will be treated to a new place of public art on the north wall of the Copper Lounge building in Muscadet. Owner Wendy Rowe commissioned the mural by Darius Agard of Milwaukee after demolition of the longstanding service station and repair shop adjacent to her structure left an unsightly exposed brick face for both the Copper Lounge and the adjoining Clare Bank. The mural that covered a portion of the wall had become weathered, and Rowe decided it was time to pursue a new look for the entire north side of the building. After relaying the general concept to Agard, a preliminary sketch was provided, and the pieces fell into place. Agard estimated there were 16 to 20 hours involved in the planning process. Rowe was able to have local painter Trent Sherman prepare the wall with a brown underlayer, only to learn that the muralist required a white base layer, which was painted and prepped by Blair and Jake Trotter of Muscadet prior to the arrival of Agard crew on November 16th. Working throughout the day and into the evening, a team of 5 artists under Agard's direction started with background including United States flag red stripes, graffiti-style lettering of Muscadet, Wisconsin, and additional detail work with a large eagle. On Sunday, November 17th, Agard and his apprentice, Alan Peralta, formerly of San Diego but now of Milwaukee, and others continued the finishing work by adding the signature Muscadet morel mushrooms and prairie wildflowers as a nod to English prairie, the name given to the early trading post and settlement on the Wisconsin River, and final details. Between the planning and the actual on-site painting, over 100 hours were devoted to completion of the mural. A classic Wisconsin B-movie prop is up for auction. One of the giant spider props from the titular 1975 sci-fi movie, The Giant Spider Invasion, is up for auction in December. That film was shot in Merrill and was notably covered by the comedy series Mystery Science Theater 3000. You can also own all the rights to the film and several of the original negatives. The auction is coming entirely from a collection of the independent filmmaker Bill Rebane, who set up shop in Tiny Gleason in Lincoln County. Happy birthday to the famous battle cry "On Wisconsin," which began on an actual battlefield. It was 1863, the middle of the Civil War. Wisconsin's 24th Infantry Regiment was in Tennessee, fighting the Confederate Army when their Union flag was shot down. That didn't stop the Wisconsin unit. An 18-year-old soldier named Arthur MacArthur ran up a hill, staking it in the ground, and yelled, "On Wisconsin!" It helped rally their Union troops to keep fighting, and for it, he later won a Medal of Honor. The fight song was composed in 1909. St. John's Lutheran Church in Richland Center will be serving their annual Thanksgiving dinner Thursday. Meals are carry-out and delivery. Delivered meals within a 2-mile radius of Richland Center will be distributed from 11 to 2. Carryouts can be picked up at the church, located at 479 South Park Street, from 11:30 to 12:30. Orders must be placed by this Wednesday at noon. To place an order, call 608-647-3000 and leave your name, phone number, delivery, or pickup, and how many dinners you want. Someone will contact you regarding your address. Free will donations are accepted. AAA is preparing for a busy Thanksgiving holiday weekend, expecting to respond to more than 570,000 calls from drivers with car trouble. Beginning Wednesday, the Auto Club Group will also launch its free Tow-to-Go service, which is aimed at preventing impaired driving. Nationwide, AAA expects Thanksgiving travel to set new records, with an estimated 71.7 million Americans forecast to take a road trip. Combining cocktails with crowded roads can be deadly. During the Thanksgiving holiday weekend from 2017 to 2021, More than 830 people died in crashes involving a drunk driver. Tow to Go is active from 6 Wednesday night to 6 Monday morning, December 2nd. The program is available in Wisconsin and other selected states, offering a safe ride for would-be impaired drivers and their vehicles. AAA requests that the program be used as a last resort, yet it is free to those who need it. Phone 1-855-2TOW-TO-GO. That's 1-855-286-9245. Appointments cannot be scheduled in advance. Tow to Go is designed as a safety net for those that did not plan ahead. Always choose a designated driver before celebrating. In some situations, AAA may need to make other arrangements to get an impaired individual a safe ride home. Tow to Go may not be available in rural areas or during severe weather conditions. The latest winners in the Ithaca Football Boosters calendar raffle are on Saturday, Tom Doudna. Sunday's winner was Steve Kolstad, and today's winner is Amanda Fowle.